Should I do something like that for Halloween? Why didn't y'all tell me I was calling y'all cake-nistas all this time? I turned y'all into Italian cake-nistas and y'all didn't say anything. A cake-nista. Hey cake-nistas. It's Marisha. It's Todd. I have a highly requested cake for you guys, and by highly I mean 2 people, and one of them was my grandma. I posted a pistachio pound cake that I had on the cruise. Now what was very interesting about this pound cake was that it was pistachio, but we did not know. We all thought that it was lime because it had like a tart glaze on top that tasted just like lime glaze, and there were no pistachios to be found. Pistachio, are you there? Because not on the Royal Caribbean, you know. I was asked to remake that pistachio pound cake. I think I will. It was actually grandmother approved. Y'all are definitely going to want to watch the full video because this is an absolutely gorgeous decadent cake. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, press on the notification bell, and let's get started. The prep for your pound cake needs to begin the night before. Take out your cream cheese, your eggs, is that it? And your butter. Okay, cake nieces, let's make our pistachio pound cake. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to cream my butter. We need to make sure that it is nice and room temperature to start, which it definitely is. I had all of my ingredients sitting out overnight so that they would be perfect for this moment. Put it right into my mixer and begin to mix. Okay, that's my butter. Now I'm going to add in my cream cheese. You just see a little bit of orange zest on there. Don't mind that. Just a little bit of deliciousness. It's been just a couple of minutes. Man, the smell of cream cheese is everything to me. I'm going to scrape down the sides of my bowl. You're gonna see me do this a lot more than you normally would because the volume of pound cakeage is like a lot more than your typical cake. We can't play around when it comes to a pound cake. You gotta do it right. And if you're not gonna do it right, at least film it so that we can be entertained by it. Let's go for a couple more minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this down to a level 1 and I'm going to gradually add in my sugar. How many pound cakes have I done on this channel? What, 2? I think I've done 2 or 3. And in comparison to the other 500 videos that I have, that is not a lot at all. Maybe I should turn it up a little bit so it can actually mix. Just turn it up. I am so excited. I hope that this pound cake turns out right. You guys don't know. If I ever have baking anxiety, it's when I have a wedding cake order and when I'm making a pound cake. I can definitely feel it in the air. This is going to be great. It's going to be delicious. And I really do think that it's going to be a lot better than the ship's cake. So there's the last of my sugar. I'm going to scrape down this bowl. That's why I love this. This is called a spurtle. We get these from like QVC. They may have them on Amazon as well, and it's a set. And they're very sturdy. Like I just bought a spatula that I started chopping butter with and it literally broke in half. This is not breaking in half. This thing is super sturdy. And it's nice and long, so I love to use it for the bottom of my mixing bowls and just to scrape everything, make sure I get everything together. Right now the color is very rich, it's very yellow, it's a deep yellow. We're going to mix this until it gets to be a nice pale color. So about 5 minutes and then we'll come back. Let's crack our eggs. It's wonderful how much easier it is to crack eggs when they are room temperature versus when they are cold. The time got away from me, so it's a little bit longer than 5 minutes. It's actually been more like 10 minutes. I don't know how that happened. I think I'm living in the twilight zone. So I'm going to add in my eggs one by one. And I'm keeping my mixer on low to ensure that we get some good mixation going still. Oh, it just is taking it. Alright, it just is taking it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in person, the cream cheese and butter and sugar is definitely more pale in color. And you can already see how the butter sticks to the bowl once you're adding these eggs. So once again, you know what we're going to do. After this, we're going to scrape down that bowl. Scrape it down. Now that could be a good song. You better scrape it down. I love to add in my flavorings before I actually add in my flour, especially when zest is involved. It gives it more time to actually infuse the flavors, and the mixer may even crush and release the oils. So I'm definitely going to add in my zest, and I have some orange zest here. This is going to pair beautifully with the pistachio. It's going to bring out some of that pistachio flavor. Definitely going to add that in. Golly, it's very awkward. And this is just the zest of one whole orange. I did not measure this. I just wanted a good amount of zest so that I could really see it. Because if I could see it, I know that I could taste it. I just want all of it to get in there. Okay. Sometimes you gotta get aggressive with these cakes, okay? You can't be letting the cakes cake you. You gotta cake the cakes. And now I'm contemplating. I have vanilla extract. Should I also do lemon? I love lemon juice in a pound cake. And you can never really like taste, it doesn't taste like a lemon cake. It just tastes like another layer of flavors. Let's do it. Let's go all out because we want to find pistachio flavor, but we also want to build on the flavors. And I feel like when you have a pound cake, vanilla extract, lemon extract, and almond extract is definitely just the base. Unless you're doing like something that's almond right there. That was what, like a 1/4 teaspoon? Okay, that's a lot. I feel like with pistachio, the almond flavor is going to complement the pistachio. It's going to make it taste even more like pistachio. It's going to bring it out. Just trust me on this. It's going to bring out the pistachio flavor. Let's just be honest. I'm using pudding. I'm pretty much banking on this artificial pudding, which is gonna do its job to give me my true pistachio flavor. So I wanna at least help it out with some freshness, some real orange zest, some lemon juice, some vanilla, the almond extract. This is how I think. Do you like it? Do you like it? Let's continue to mix for another couple of minutes. Let's infuse those flavors together. We just added a lot of flavors. When I made the last couple bundt cakes, it didn't taste flat, but it didn't taste like, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, in a good way. Not in a bad way, which that definitely could be interpreted as. So it's been a couple of minutes. This is the part that scares me when it looks like it's starting to break. But it's okay. I know it's just the process. It's fine, right? I have my pistachio pudding and I have some cake flour. Now I'm using cake flour because the cake on the ship, it was tender and it was fluffy, but it was still a pound cake. I also have here some baking soda, baking powder, and salt. I'm gonna combine my powders. So I'm going to make a true pistachio cake, but I really appreciate the little pistachios that are in the pudding. That's all that I really want. I don't really like a lot of nuts in my cake. I kind of just want to save that for the garnish, but I do want that pistachio flavor. Let's add 1/3 to the bowl. We're just gonna mix just until this flour is integrated into the batter. Almost. Okay. Let me do some of this because I do want to add the whole thing. I'm going to do another 1/3. Mix that just until it's integrated. Until I don't see any more flour. Perfect. I'm loving this color so far. Add the last bit of flour. Let me stand up for this one. Get the sides especially, so that we don't end up over mixing later trying to just get the stuff that we could have gotten right now. That sounds so smart and dumb at the same time. Get the stuff that we should have gotten right now. I want to add in the rest of my pudding. I feel more comfortable finishing up my mixing process by hand, ensuring that I don't overmix my cake. I'm loving that I can see the specks of that orange zest in there as well. One last good mix by hand. Scraping the bowl once again. My grandmother's birthday is coming up, right? I was telling her, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make the pound cake. Then I'm asking her, what do you want for your birthday cake? She literally claimed this whole pistachio pound cake. She was like, oh, now I have my birthday cake. Now this cake needs to be right and it needs to be on point, because if you're serving your grandmother, who is a pound cake connoisseur, a pound cake, I better come correct. I'm not about to be embarrassed and feeling bad. For a birthday cake, we have to do specialty. So let's go with this one. Now I do have some pan spray. This pan is good for stickings, and I really want this cake to come out perfectly, especially because now it's from my grandmother and she's a thorough queen. Ooh, brother, ooh. What's that, brother? That's how I feel. Like, why is it so yellow? My oven is preheating at 325 degrees. This is when I knew I messed up. It's all pooling at the bottom of the pan. I'm like, is there gonna be any non-stick spray left on the pan to non-stick? I'm a confident queen, so I kept on going. We also have spare batter, and we need to bake that because we need to try that. So I'm going to grab my beautiful loaf pan, and I'm going to put that same buttery pool down and pour in my remaining cake batter. I want to make sure that all of the air is released from the bottom of the pans and in between, so I make sure to give these a good tap. My bun baked for 1 hour and 5 minutes, and my loaf for 40 minutes. Oh my goodness, coming straight out the oven, that gorgeous crustation that looks like a big cookie on the top is perfectly level. It looks beautiful. It really, really, really does. These look like big, buttery, crunchy cookies. I'm gonna let these cool down for about 1 hour and a half while I make my glaze. I'm going to make a pistachio glaze with the pudding and confectioner sugar and milk. You definitely need a little bit of salt. I can't stand an overly sweet glaze. I never measure when it comes to glaze. I just go by the taste and the look and feel. I know that I want a nice thick glaze for this cake, and I definitely want some actual pistachios on top. So I'm gonna grind a few by hand, and now I'm ready to flip this cake. I'm so excited. So I want to remove the cake from the pan. Not me trying to fix it. Oh, I put my hopes into this pan spray, and I shouldn't have done that. It's not for the cake pan, it's just for the saute pan. I stayed up and made the entire cake over again. Made my non-stick cake goop. It's simply shortening, oil, and flour. Once again, baked it at 325 for about 1 hour, and when it came out, it was still stuck. No, that's just because I left the cake in the pan overnight. I think that the shortening just solidified and it's kind of sealing the pan to the cake. So I popped it in the oven for 10 minutes just to melt that layer of shortening, and it released in no time at all. If I didn't realize that, we would have been all having pistachio pound cake cake pops. I can finally move on to glazing my cake. I have like a vision. I want this to be so thick of a glaze that it can't even hit the total bottom of the cake. I just want it to do a wavy thing, you know, like in the middle of the cake. I almost imagined this being cartoon-like, and this was making me so nervous, but I knew it was possible. I knew it could be done, but especially with the shape of the pan, the glaze is definitely going to fall awkwardly at certain points, but it is the perfect consistency. I'm so happy about that. And you can see I'm using a sandwich bag to pipe my glaze on so that I have a little bit more control over it. I'm going nice and thick, and then I'm tapping the cake to allow the glaze to glide down the cake. I want to put some of my crushed pistachios on top so that they can settle in place. I need this cake to be stunning, elegant, and flavorful, so I headed over to Trader Joe's. I had it in my mind that baby's breaths would be gorgeous on this cake, so that's what I got. I saw the plain ones, and then I saw these colorful ones. That blue with that shade of pink with that shade of green will look so gorgeous across this cake. Flower placement is everything, even with a bundt cake or a pound cake. You wouldn't think it is, but I literally went in like 3 different flower designs before I came up with just a few on the right side of the cake, and I absolutely love it. Couture and a cream cheese pistachio pound cake. I have got to try this one. Oh my goodness, man. Oh, those flavors are so good. That almond helps so much in that pistachio. We could taste a little bit of that citrusy flavor. Did she do something? Did she do it? Can I do a little bit of that? So we went out to eat. We actually went to Shady Maple's Smorgasbord for her birthday. That's where she wanted to go. You know, it's not a classy place. Because we brought this cake, and usually, you know, you could cut your birthday cakes there, but we don't know what the rules are, if they've changed or anything. And I was like, well, do you want to at least see your cake? And they didn't come and take the dirty plates away yet, so it looks so disgusting. We have dirty plate dishes with this gorgeous couture cake, but I loved her reaction. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy.
So you got my pistachios?
Yes.
Yeah. What about inside? They're not edible.
No, they're just flowers. He gave you a birthday hug.
Oh, thank you.
Say, oh my goodness, happy birthday.
But the way you said it was funny.
That's my mom. So you want to know what she thought about this cake? Hold on, where's my phone? If you're of a certain age watching me and you feel like, oh, she's a millennial, what does she know? This is what I know. Marisha, your pound cake was excellent. Crumb was right on point. Just the texture that I like. Flavor was delicious, and it wasn't too sweet. I did think the icing was a little too sweet. Yes, I know, because I forgot to add a little more salt after I made that double batch of icing, because I ended up making more icing than I thought that I was going to use. All in all, it was a winner. By the way, I had it for breakfast. Oh, thank you. And she's been looking for this particular crumb for years, and she said she couldn't find it. And then she had my cake and she found it. It was like meant to be. The good thing that happened with me messing up the first one, I thought it was too sweet. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I'm adding this sweet pudding to this recipe. I need to cut the sugar. So I cut the sugar by 1/4 cup, and that made all the difference. Was it just like the ship? No, of course not. It was better. It was from scratch. It actually tasted like pistachios. That almond really merged with the pistachio flavor to just give this rich, nutty, vibrant aroma. You could taste the lemon and the orange. It just lifted the flavor so much more, working perfectly with the pistachio flavor. And so I know a lot of you guys may be wondering what I'm going to do with the first cake. I'm going to figure that out. Definitely not in the form that it's in right now. The Cakeista comment of the day is going to go to Diane Bernard 5070. On my 3-tier glam dog cake, she says, we love you, girl. I love you, girl. And I don't know about everybody else. I know that's right. But when I say that I love you, I do. Is it besties in the making? You make me feel so happy, and I love watching your videos. I'm so glad. You're like a best friend that you don't talk to on a regular basis, But you know, when you get around them, you're gonna have the most fun. You're like that to me, and only because I don't really know you. I'm more than sure if I did, you would be a lot more to me than that, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. That's how I feel about y'all. I see certain people pop up often that comment, and I'm like, oh, it's so-and-so, oh, it's so-and-so. I really feel the same exact way. Y'all are so funny in the comments. I am so blessed to have such beautiful, funny, positive comments, and that means so much because I know how rare that is. It's just such a joy and such an honor to make you guys laugh and to make y'all feel happy. And when y'all talk about, oh, I'm watching you at work and I'm laughing out loud, or my family's looking at me funny because I'm laughing, like, that is amazing. I don't take that lightly. Like, I love that. I love that. That's why we need to get the Cake Nista gang up, because I would love to just do this full time. If you would like to be featured in the next video, just comment down below and be subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you make this pound cake, let me know what you think, please. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, Cake Nistas.